Hello FlossTube, I'm Nicole and this is DDs Vlogmas Season 3, Episode 10. Everybody, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for taking some more time out of your day to join me for another great episode of FlossTube. Basically, I have not done much stitching this week, but I did get some stitches in. We are also going to be doing an advent opening for the 16th and 17th because I missed yesterday because I was having all sorts of issues with technology. So in the end, I just got very frustrated. I called it and I sat down and done some stitching. So nothing got done yesterday as far as technology wise. So I thought I would just do both of the advent openings up today on FlossTube. I seem to be having a much better time of it today. Sometimes you've just got to take a step back. Maybe the universe was telling me to slow down. The good news is that I managed, while I was stitching, to read my 100th book for the year. So yay! I managed to get 100 books in. I met my target. That was my goal on Goodreads. And I started reading my 101st book. That was a mouthful. So yeah, so basically I have got, I think, about maybe 2 chapters left, not even, maybe 1 chapter left of The Great Gatsby. So I will do reviews and all that sort of stuff. We also didn't have a sewing tutorial on Wednesday. That is getting done tomorrow. I just got sidetracked. I've got no excuse. I just got sidetracked and I forgot all about it. And yeah, that happens. Forget what day it is and, you know, oh yeah, you're supposed to be doing this or that. You know, the kids are home and we're sort of already in holiday mode. Even though the girls are still working and all that sort of stuff, I am slowing right down. So I am just finishing up final orders. I've got the last quilt for the year being picked up this morning. So I've got to get FlossTube done before she gets here. I've got bags and everything ready to go. They should be going out Monday. They were supposed to go out today, but they're not going to be finished by today. I don't want to rush them, so they should go out on Monday. They aren't Christmas presents or anything like that, so that's all good. So yeah, they'll head off to their prospective owners. And then I will be done for the year until January, the first week of January. I'm not taking as long off this time. Quilting, yes, I'm still not doing that until February. I have 1 quilt that I have to get done in January, but it is a bit of a quilting and custom job at the same time. I've got to put borders and bindings and that sort of stuff on it. And so I'm doing that in January so I can just focus on that a little bit each time and then she'll pick it up. But I'm not back to full-blown quilting until February. I always take the December and January off just to give myself a bit of a break from it, so I don't get so flustered with lots and lots of jobs and stuff like that. So we are here for stitching and what I've been working on and the advent calendars. So we are going to be opening up 2 advents today, 3 advents today. So we've got our mystery one, our book one, and we have our diamond painting one, and we are opening 2 from each one because I missed yesterday. So we'll start with day 16 and the mystery one. So thank you for all the messages I got about the box of matches. I have an opinion on what to do with the box of matches, but yeah, anyway, we won't go there, shall we? All right, so the mystery one is, we're up to day 16, and this one is just in a normal everyday envelope. She's made some nice little pouches and stuff and all that on the way, and we have some bits and bobs of little pom-poms that I can use for cross stitching, and we've got some lace. Some different types of lace. So we've got a big wad of like all different sorts. There's rickrack in here. There's some like vintage lace as well. So your cotton crochet lace, tatting, whatever you call it. I don't know. You think I'd know, seeing I'm in the sewing industry, right? No, not so much. And we've got some gold swirly ones and all the rest of it. We've got some fluffy ones. That's cute. That'd be cute on a little summery type. There we go, that's the front of it, like a little tassel. That's very cute. So most of these I can use for like small things on is that one there, on our little finishes for cross stitch and stuff like that. So that's handy. I never balk at getting things like that because they all come in handy, those little bits and pieces. Same as all the little bits of scraps and everything that you save and all the rest of it. All right, so we'll move on to day 17 for the mystery one. Oh, I'm not sure. This crinkles and it's lumpy. Dried flowers, maybe? I don't know. Let's see. It's been a very interesting opening of this mystery one. It's difficult to get into at times. Oh, I think I might have been right. Yep. Well, not dried flowers as such. They're a little bit squished because they've been in the box, but we've got some ribbon flowers. So they are always good. You can use them as embellishments. These ones look to be made out of like a foam type flower. And then we've got a white one with some, as I said, they're squashed, and it didn't help that I just squished them. So we've got a couple of different flowers there, so they'll be good for little embellishments. I'm not sure about the foam ones. I know that little one there you could use as a little embellishment. I'm not trying to go down the rabbit hole of junk journaling. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I'm happy to watch it, but I'm not happy to go down it and start doing it. All right. The next one that we got, so that's the mystery one. Okay, the mystery one is quite interesting. It was one that for those that are new here, it was one I got off Facebook. It was a mystery. I asked all the right questions. She never indicated that it was for junk journaling, but we have established that it is very much for junk journaling, which has been good because it's actually educated me a little bit on what junk journaling is and all that sort of stuff, because it's made me go and do a little bit of research. And the one lady that I am really enjoying watching at the moment, and I seem to be binge watching a lot of her tutorials and even just what she does and stuff like that, is Treasure Books, and she's another Aussie creator, so it's always nice to support another Aussie creator. All right, we're going to mix it up a little bit and we're going to go for the diamond painting this time. So it comes in a lovely box like this, and we have two of these, 16 and 17. Oh, 16 is a medium one. Okay, and I will pull out 17 as well. It's a little square box. All right, sit that over there. And let's open number 16, shall we? Ooh, I was looking for one of these. I was going to buy one the other day because I spilt drills everywhere, and I thought, you know what, I could really do with just a funnel basically to put these back in. And look, I got one. Ask and you shall receive. I literally had it on our website ready to buy it because I don't have one, and now I do, so I'm very happy with that, so thank you. Ah, there you go. See, ask and you shall receive. All right, let's do number 17. Ooh, this is a nice color. Very nice. We have some electric blue, 995 is the color, and they are your AB drills. So you can see how sparkly, I'm just trying not to get the glare, there you go. You can see how sparkly they are. Okay, they're quite iridescent when you put them on the charts. So I'll be able to use, I've been getting, a lot of these have been AB, the ones that we've been getting in this, so I'll be able to use in some of the other older charts that don't have these, swap them out a little bit and just have little different things that are highlighted a little bit more. So I'm really loving the fact that I'm getting a lot of those drills, and they're in a storage container and they're labeled, and so I can just sit them in with my other diamond painting stuff and not have to worry about it. Okay. Day 2 was opened, I know that. I didn't put it upside down. It's confusing me there for a moment. I'm just turning them upside down. So once I've pulled them out, I just put them back in upside down. So it makes it easier to find them. All right, now that is the diamond painting ones. I had the card out last night, but I seem to have misplaced it. You can find her on Etsy. I will put her details down below. She has a website where you can get diamond painting stuff, and she's based here in Kingaroy. I still haven't met her. I don't know whether she's right in Kingaroy. Her post box could be just in Kingaroy. She could live on the outskirts because the South Burnett is quite a big area and it's a lot of farming area. So when people say they live in Kingaroy, sometimes they live out of Kingaroy. It's just easier to say Kingaroy. All right, so let's move on to the books and let's see if I can read today. Or at least speak the English language. I'm going to move it along a little bit quickly because I do have someone coming shortly. All right, so day 16 of the book. It feels like a paperback. Let's get into it. Oh, Fingersmith. Okay. Essential Sarah Waters. A good book is great. A great book is essential. Okay. It is by Hachette Essentials. It was published. So this is the cover. Interesting cover. If I seen that in a bookshop, I doubt whether I would have picked it up. But then again, maybe because I like old vintage looking stuff. So it seems to be set in 1862. Sue Tinder, orphaned at birth, grows up among pretty thieves, fingersmiths, under a rough, loving care of Mrs. Suxbury and her family. But the moment she draws breath, Sue's fate is linked to that of another orphan growing up in a gloomy mansion not too many miles away. Interesting. Oh, I like the writing on the inside. That's nice. You don't often see that in books these days. Okay, we have about the author and okay, when are you going to tell me when it was published? Oh, there we go. 2002. So it's what, 19 years old? So yeah, it'll be interesting. I've been getting a few books lately that I've been reading from like in the 90s and stuff like that. One of the books I read this week was in the 90s, and you can, like, just the language and stuff like that, you can really tell. Like, it's, yeah. See, like, if you read something from before you were born, you sort of expect it to be, but when you read something from your era, your generation, and it's like, and you read an old book, it's a little bit weird because you know the language, like, it's, yeah, and that is the vernacular of the day. Without me using big words, eh? All right. Yeah, so it's got 2002 it was published, and she's got a few other books out as well. And again, the acknowledgements, she's got some notes in the back, and there's 548 pages to this one, so not a small book. So it better be good, because if we're going to put that much time into it, it better be good. So that's book one, and for today's book, and then I'm all caught up with the Advent. All right, so day 17, pretty paper. So this week I've been doing a little bit of card making and all sorts of stuff. I've made another thing too, which you'll see in a moment. All right, get rid of that paper. Oh, The Ninth Child, Sally Magnuson. Bestseller author of Seal Woman's Gift. All right, it's a pretty, like, I would have bought that just because it's purple. And I love thistle flowers. I think they're just absolutely gorgeous. Something so beautiful turns into something so nasty. On that, but yeah, I do love the thistles on that. That's very pretty. I would have bought that book just for that alone. All right, so it's fiction. It's published by Two Roads. It was first published in 2020, so a reasonably new one. It has, how many pages does it have? 314 pages. It's got author's notes in the back, and then some lists of other things that she has in there, acknowledgements and all the rest of it, and then about the author. That's all in the back. That's the back of the book, which is pretty as well, and they don't always do the back of the book. Okay, all right, so it looks like it's set in 1856, a Highland wilderness fast becoming an industrial wasteland, no place for a lady. Isabel Arad is angst when her husband is appointed a doctor to an extraordinary waterworks being built miles away from the city. But isn't it Isabel denied the motherhood role that is expected of her by a succession of miscarriages, finds unexpected constellations in a place where she can feel the presence of her unborn children and begin to work out what her life in Victorian society is for. The hills echo with gunpowder blasts of hundreds of people tunnelling day and night to bring clean water to diseased, Glasgow 30 miles away. Digging so deep that there's those that worry for disturbing the land fairy as itself. I can't read, I swear. Like, I can read in my head, but reading out loud, and it comes from when I was at school, because I used to have a bit of a stutter when I was at school, and I was terrible at reading out loud, and so I was very self-conscious getting up and reading in front of people. And for me to read on camera to you guys, sometimes I can go really good, and then all of a sudden my anxiety starts to kick in, and then I'll start to stutter, and then I can't read, and it's like I become almost like I become dyslexic. So believe me when I say I can read and I can write, I just like to do it to myself, and I don't like to read out loud. So I'm sorry if you're suffering through this. I am getting better though. I would not have been able to do this a couple of years ago at all. And I think being on YouTube has actually helped me with that, because I don't like public speaking or anything like that. I become very withdrawn, and I don't suffer from anxiety as such in my everyday life, but this actually makes me feel like I'm very anxious, and you can see I start playing with my hair and I'm trying to go within myself and all the rest of it. So anyway, it looks like a really good book. It's set in 1856 and in Victorian society, so it's good. And it sounds like it's got a little bit of magic in there and all the rest of it. They're in Glasgow, so I mean, there's always that folklore and stuff there. So yeah, but just believe me when I say it's a good book. I'll hold it up and I'll pause it for you. You can pause it, and then if you tap your screen again, the screen will go clear and you'll be able to actually read that. So that's what the book's about. I'm sorry that you have to suffer through this. I realise that I do realise that, and I think that and I think for those people that haven't put comments there, that I sound like a gibbering idiot, that I can't speak and all that, and that's something that I used to get called, and that's not what I think of myself. But I just think that it doesn't matter how old you get, some things from your childhood just stay with you, and that seems to be one of them. Like I used to practice all the time reading out loud to my kids at lunchtime and stuff like that, and they were so patient with me, because I explained to them, even though they were little, they still understood that Mum sometimes had trouble reading out loud. While reading to myself, I can whiz through a book in no time at all. I understand, you know, like I don't have any problems reading or anything. It's just reading out loud. So that's why I sort of try to avoid it. So me opening these books and then reading the back, especially if I haven't read it first, can make a big difference. So I do apologize, and thank you for sticking with me. Anyway, that is the Advents. Gorgeous book. Just I keep looking at it. It's just like the color is just beautiful. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to reading that. That sounds like it's right up my alley. So you know, a little bit of folklore, and you know, it's back in the 1800s. It seems to be where I'm heading at the moment. But we are here for stitching. So I haven't worked on much. I have worked on 3 projects, and I made something which has a project in it now that it will be its forever home, because it's going to take me forever. So I did have 3 new starts, and the reason that I've started these is because I actually didn't have any much Christmas stuff left, and I've been wanting to do these for a while. Sorry, 2 new starts. I haven't done the 3rd new start yet. It's sitting over there. So that's next week's plan. So I'm going to start with a new start, with a whip. Sorry, not a new start. Oh god, I'm just not with it. Where is the page? I know I have a cover page here somewhere. There it is. It is the free chart from Plum Street Samplers, 12 Days of Christmas. I started this at Christmas last year for 12 Days of Christmas, and I got the little crown and the little bird in, and that was it. That's all I got in. But I pulled it out this week. I actually pulled out what Christmas stuff I had left, which was very minimal, and I've had a couple of restarts too. So but I got that in. So we've got I've got the F and the first, and I got the pear tree done. So that's a, what is it? Turtle dove in a, no, what is it? A partridge in a pear tree. I don't even know me bloody things today. So all I've got left to do is there's a little in that one is I've got the first day to do, the little lady and the man, go away fly, and the hassles of summer in Queensland, and December 25th, and then that little block is done. So, and as you can see, I've done a little bit of the border. I'm sort of just going to do the border as I'm going on that, because borders are boring. But I got nearly 500 stitches into that, or 450 or something into that, so that's not too bad. Yes, I am back to counting stitches again. The all of the challenge groups are starting to flare up on my radar again, and all the rest of it. I'm not doing all the things this one. I'm only going to be doing the ones in DDs Quilting and Crafting group, which is my group that I've put up a whole heap of different challenges for sewing, for stitching, for reading, and all that. So I've covered all the things, and they're pretty simple ones. They're just like bingo challenges. Some of them run for 3 months, some of them run for a year, and all the rest of it. So if that's something you're interested in, the link is down below. Come over and join. Check out the events tab, and you'll see all the events there. They're all up the top, so what's happening and stuff like that is all up the top. So this is a new start. This is by Cottage Garden samplings. It is the Songbird Garden series, and I started with the Christmas one, Merry and Bright, and I got 100 stitches into that. I only started it last night, so got 100 stitches that on the M, and I've got to put another 100 in for it to qualify as a whip for next year for Work My Whips. Alright, so that is that one. Nothing too exciting on that, and I decided that I was just going to do it on white fabric, because I'm actually going to turn this into a quilt. So I'm going to, just the design of it and all the rest of it, I'm going to get some like 1930 reproduction fabrics, and I'm going to turn it into a beautiful quilt for my room. So I'll work a little bit more on that throughout, and because there's 12, I think there's 12 in the series, so I'll be able to space it out with some patchwork blocks and all the rest of it. So I'm doing it on white because I put, like, even though it should probably have been on cream, I just didn't like the cream that, so I went with the white. Alright, so the other thing that I started, now this was not a restart, this was an actual start. I'm using the called for colors, and it is Jack Frost's Tree Farm. I'm doing this block first, and I'm doing this as one piece. So I decided that all these ones, instead of having all these ornaments scattered throughout my house, which I would really like, but my house is only small, and we are going to be scaling down, so I'm not going to have a massive house to have all these things. So I thought I'd do cushions instead, because they can come out and they're easy to store. So I got I think about 300 stitches into this, including the border. So that's the house. That's what the chart looks like without the glare. So there's a little border that goes around, and that's the house, and that's what I got done. That's a pretty good start. It's going to go pretty quick. Like that was only a couple of hours I got that in, so it's going to go pretty quick. And there's 7 all up. I don't have a picture of it all, so I do have all the charts here though. So we've got this one. So this one will go across the top, and then subsequently there'll be 2 rows of blocks underneath. So I think there's, so that's part 1. Oop, that's number 1. So that'll be the next one that I do, number 2. Then there'll be number 3. So there's not a lot to them. Then there'll be part 4. So they'll all sit under the top one. Then there'll be part 6. Oh, sorry, part 5. They're very cute. Part 6. And these are by Little House Needleworks, in case you didn't know that. And this one is cute. Cookies. So yeah, so I've started that, and okay, so I'm using the called for colors, except I've swapped out, I've got my little note here, I've swapped out Cherry Cobbler for Manna Red and Black Coffee for Blackbird. And the reason that I swapped them out is because they were not available at the time, and I just wanted to get the floss and all the rest of it together. So I mean, they're very similar in colour. It's just the Cherry Cobblers are probably a little bit brighter than that one, but I'm happy with a little bit not so bright. So we have all the colours for it as well. So, and we've got some greens and needles, and they're all in the classic Colourworks because that's what they tend to use, and some eggshell. So they're all the colours. It's going to be very pretty when it's done. I absolutely fell in love with it when I seen it, and I just had to have it. But the whole having a ton of ornaments was sort of putting me off. So what I'm doing is I'm doing them as cushions, and then my most favourite pieces from each one, then I will do that as a little ornament, because I've already got the skate shop from Snow Village, which is my next start, as a full piece. And then I've got 2 other 3D ones that are going to be ornaments for the tree. But that is all the stitching that I've done this week. I've been incredibly busy with the kids and stuff like that, just trying to get the house organised so we can relax over Christmas and get Brendan organised, and I've been helping him and all the rest of it. His worker has got, that we have over at the workshop, he's just gone on 2 weeks holidays, and Brendan's had to dash off to Rockhampton this morning because he got as far as Rockhampton and his car broke down. So, you know how it is, a mechanic's car is never fixed. So Brendan's just dashed off with Savannah's car so they can keep going to where they need to go, and he still gets his holiday, and he won't be so bummed out when he comes back to work because, yeah. So the next thing that I worked on, okay, so if you've been watching my advents, you know that I've worked on cards this week. I've done bag sewing, I've done a quilt finish for a customer and all that sort of stuff. The other thing that I made, because I was getting super frustrated of not being able to find Q-snaps in the sizes that I wanted without having to spend a lot of money on postage and all the rest of it, I decided that I was going to visit Bunnings and I was going to make my own. So that's what I've done for Christmas too. Now it's huge. Okay, so it is a big one. Okay, Christmas 2 is a Haed. It is, and that's all I've done on it. So it is going to be in this for a long time. I have put the side panel so I've got a big area that I don't have to worry about moving it for a very long time, and that's the area that I'm going to work in. I've got some side tensioners that I got with my Dubco frame, and I am going to do a tutorial on how to make this. You will be surprised how easy it is to make. Had I known it was going to go into a Q-snap, I probably would have had a bigger border on this, probably a 4-inch border as opposed to a 3-inch border, but I can work with that. You can see I've just got some clamps on there, mini clamps and all the rest of it. It is lightweight. It's no heavier than a Q-snap. Actually, I'll probably say it's a little bit lighter than a Q-snap, but I am going to do a tutorial for it, and that's coming next week. So I've just got to, I ran out of supplies because I got a bit carried away and I forgot to film what I was doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to whip back down to Bunnings. I'm going to take you through the process of buying what you need to do. Brendan's going to help me with that on Monday, so we'll get that filmed, and then I will be able to put that up for you guys next week. And then all of those people that are isolated and don't have a hardware store in their local town, they can make their own Q-snaps to any size. So this one here is, I think, is 36 inches, so almost a yard across, and it is, let me just put it up here, it is 10 inches down. So I find that that's a good size to work with. I can reach the top without too much strain, especially with my new thing. It sits on my, it doesn't have the weight that the scroll bars have and all the rest of it. It's just the weight of a Q-snap. Like you can see there, I can hold it up with one finger, not a problem. And so it's really easy to construct when you've got the right tools. You won't need your husband to help you. You will be able to do it yourself. I'm going to show you what tools to get to make it super easy so you don't have to rely on anybody. And then you can make them in any size that you want. So you can make them square or anything like that. I show you all the parts and everything that you need to get. And believe me, you don't need any power tools. There's just one tool that you need, and the rest of it is just snap it in together just like a Q-snap. But that is coming next week. So thank you for everybody that has been joining me over the past 12 months. Next week I will have a Flosstube, even though it's Christmas Eve. I don't know how much stitching I'm going to have, but I still have my last advent to do. So I will pop in and see you and wish everybody a Merry Christmas. I will be doing my whip parade of what I'm not going to do my entire whips. I'm just going to do the whip parade of what I'm working on in No New Starts in 2022, and I'll be doing that on New Year's Eve, so because that will be my final list then. So yeah, you'll be able to join me for that. Alright, so that is it from me today. Thank you so much again for joining me. If you like this video today, don't forget to give it a thumbs up down below. Also, leave us a comment, tell me where you're watching from or if you're new to the channel. And also, if you're new here and you have yet to subscribe, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the little bell icon beside it, and then that way you won't miss out on any future uploads. And I will see you tomorrow. That technology is nice to me. I will see you tomorrow for a sewing tutorial. Have a great day, everybody. Happy stitching, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.